Hi, I'm Pammie, here for another talk on Locs Talk. Have you been dealing with loss of your hair edges and wondering what is going on with my hair? And I'm not talking about like just sudden hair loss. Like, think about hairstyles that you use and stuff like that, and you're losing more and more hair. Well, there's a condition called Traction Alopecia, and that I want to talk about that with you today. It's very common within our community, and this talk is going to cover both locks as well as loose natural hair. So sit tight and let's have a conversation about traction alopecia on the Locs Talk. Okay, welcome. Come on in, have a seat, sit down. Let's chat for a minute. If you want, grab a cup of coffee. This talk is going to actually take less time than it takes to let you finish your coffee. I'm going to refer back and forth to my computer where my blog is printed on my website, www.pammielocswithlove74.com. So welcome back to another Locs Talk, where I talk about all things locks and loose natural hair. For this discussion, I'm going to talk about the topic, as I said, traction alopecia. Now, what is traction alopecia? I'm not going to read that. Traction alopecia, generally, this is what it is. Traction alopecia is hair loss as a result of consistent pulling and tugging of your hair based on the styles that you wear. So, this is a form of alopecia that is not related to an autoimmune deficiency, but related to a habit, a lifestyle. So it can be avoided. And we're going to get into what things can be done to prevent hair loss and traction alopecia, due to traction alopecia. So let's get right on in, and we're going to jump right in, okay? I'm going to get into talking about it, and I'm going to refer to my computer, which is here in front of me, because I'm going back and forth between the blog that I write on my website at www.pammielocswithlove74.com. Please sign up. Membership still is currently free. By the end of this year, it will no longer be free, so take advantage of it now while you can. All right. So, as shown in the illustration, I'm going to put up somewhere in La La Land, the constant pulling of the hair, especially styling the hair in the same style repeatedly over time, hair loss is a result. You can develop this condition if you often wear your hair in tight ponytails, buns, braids, wearing head wraps that snag and pull the hair, tight elastic headbands, wearing and removing lace front wigs with glue, tightly sewn weaves, and if you have locks, twisting your hair too often or too tightly and styling it too often will contribute to and cause traction alopecia. Now, as you see, I'm wearing a head wrap in my hair, and it's wrapped rather loosely. It looks like it's tight, but it's not, because it's made of like a stretchy satiny type material, so it can easily slide off of my hair too. So it's like not grabbing and pulling onto my hair either. But let's get further into these things. With this information, it's safe to say that traction alopecia is in fact avoidable. Other contributing factors that can aid in development of traction alopecia, especially with locks, is heavy buildup in the locks that cause gravitational pull and excessive weight. So like my hair is really, really light. I make sure that when I treat my hair with moisture, is with a very lightweight moisturizer. I don't put heavy, creamy, dense moisturizers in my hair that can get stuck in my lock. I don't use heavy gels or um, products that contain stuff that's going to build up on my hair. So you got to be careful with buildup in your hair. Make sure you use products that are made specifically for locks that won't burrow down and cause more excess weight in your hair. Okay. And this is also not just for locks, but also like if you braid your hair on a regular basis, make sure that the hair that you're using is light in weight. If you're using natural human hair, don't be constantly packing heavy, dense moisturizing cream and lotions in your hair. That also weighs and pulls down. And oftentimes people part their hair, the grid pattern in the braids is very small, and then they're using a massive amount of hair on that little small piece of hair. So the hairs are generally one by one just pulling out from the root. So that also causes traction alopecia. So how can you avoid traction alopecia? It is best to minimize styling hair with these tight styles, such as these tight slick back ponytails and buns. However, they are so beautiful, they can be so damaging if it's consistent when you're always putting the same style. Like if I wore my hair like this, wrapped up in a scarf all the time, all these beautiful edges that I have up here would be gone. I did suffer from traction alopecia some years back while I had my locks, because I kept tying my hair back and pulling it back in ponytails, and it was just ponytails that I was putting in my hair because I'm not really big on styling my locks, and sleeping on the cotton pillowcase sometimes when I was just too lazy to wrap my hair before I went to bed. I had to be more consistent with making sure that my hair was taken care of and not being pulled and things like that. So in the past couple of years, I've grown all of my healthy, beautiful edges back in using growth serum by Peculiar Roots, which happens to be my favorite brand that I'm currently using on my hair. I've been using for a little over 2 years now. So I'm very happy and pleased with the results that I've gotten from using the products there. So you got to minimize wearing lace. If you wear wigs regularly, minimize wearing lace front wigs that are glued to your hair. Like, you know, when you put the glue cap down and all of that. Minimize that. There are other ways to wear your wigs without having to do that. I've seen ads where they have these headbands that you can just lay down on your hair so it's not pulling, and then the underside of it is like a satiny thing, so it's not snagging and pulling at your hair, and then the wig is actually snagging the headband instead of your hair, and it's not snatching your hair out of your head. So it's different other alternative ways that you can still wear your wigs without having to use glue and gluing down wig caps onto your hair and causing it to pull out from the root. Wearing protective styles is great, but don't repeat back-to-back installations. Take breaks in between. What do I mean? Okay, I often advise my clients that I have that where I regularly do protective styles in their hair, that before reinstallation, make sure to take it down at least minimum a week of letting their hair rest, let their scalp rest. When you let the hair rest, it helps re-strengthen the tensile strength of your hair. Getting a protein treatment also helps and aids in this because protein helps to strengthen your hair. But letting your scalp rest is most important. So don't take braids out 1 to 2 days or even the morning of and then go and get your hair re-braided, because that inflammation that is going on with your follicles is still there. You haven't given it time to just calm down and heal itself before you turn around and put another protective style in your hair. So you're creating that tension and that pull again. So that's the importance of letting your hair rest. And I said minimum a week. When I used to get my hair braided, I never got it like done back to back to back to back, because how much protection do you need if you're constantly braiding your hair? You understand what I'm saying? You have to give yourself time to allow your hair to rest and not put so much tension on your hair. We're almost through with this. Like I said before in the past, my videos are going to be a lot shorter because I'm specifically concentrating on one topic at a time. So continuing with what I was talking about with this is also understanding that if you notice tiny bumps in your scalp after the installation of a tight hairstyle, whether it's braids or you get a retwist of your locks and then you have it styled and you see like little bumps going across, that actually is a visual confirmation that traction alopecia is beginning and can be avoided right there and then if you see that happening. How do we do that? Well, it's important to uninstall the style to loosen the pull to your scalp and your hair follicles and to stop the possibility of hair loss. It is also important to avoid using hard bristle brushes on the affected area until the scalp is fully healed. A good way to soothe the area so that it's not as painful from the inflammation is to use aloe vera gel. You know, that's really good for it. I have suggested using witch hazel to help it to heal faster, but it's necessary to uninstall it if you feel it pulling too hard. If you went to somebody's shop, you know, give them a call and say it's really pulling. I see like these traction alopecia bumps forming because my hair is literally pulling from the root. Can we fix this? And also be your own advocate. If you're getting your hair done, whether it's a wig installation or a weave or braids or any of those things, and the person is pulling too tight, you have to verbalize that. And oftentimes it is important to know that you may not feel it right away. Like even when I do my hair in a simple 2-strand twist, I start feeling the tension of it, and I don't even be doing it tight, but then I start feeling the tension of it because now it's all over my head. So I have to be careful not to twist too tight when I'm doing a 2-strand twist in my hair, and I do the same with my clients. I've made a habit of consistently asking my clients, are you okay? You comfortable? I'm not pulling too tight. Is okay? And I know I'm not heavy-handed, but I still have to get that reassurance to make sure that I'm not causing any harm to their scalp. As I said before, treatment to the scalp to regrow the hair if hair loss occurs will be discussed in a future blog about treatment for hair loss, which includes loss caused by different forms of medical alopecia and medications, hormonal changes, all different reasons why there's hair loss and how to treat if it's possible, because there are some forms of alopecia that's not treatable because it's in relation to an autoimmune disorder, and even the medications to treat that may still continue to cause hair loss. So sometimes, unfortunately, it's not curable sometimes, but in other cases it is. Now, this particular form of alopecia, traction alopecia, is literally pulling your hair out. So it is avoidable. Traction alopecia is very common, especially within this community, and this topic was important for me to share with you today. So that is why I chose this topic. Take care of your crown. Take care of your crown. Embrace your loose natural hair, and be gentle. Give yourself grace. Embrace it. Okay, so that is all for this week. I'm going to just randomly make videos and just throw them out there, because sometimes when I do a weekly thing, different things just pop up and makes it difficult to stick to a specific schedule. So I will come in here, make videos, and keep popping them in definitely as often as I possibly can. So until next time, from my chair to yours, have a great one.